Boom, what's up guys? Hollywood Joe back at you with part 2 of this UFC 202 breakdown. Joined by my colleague, James the Bad Man Toller. Bad man.
Bad.
Alright, so yeah, we're going to get back into this with the main card, breaking this bad boy down. And first up we have
Tim Means versus Sabah Hamasi. Hamasi was on The Ultimate Fighter, ATT versus Black Zillions. ATT guy. He's a banger. He wants to stand and bang with guys. This is going to be a fun fight. Tim Means is taller, a lot taller, 6'2". Fought at 55. He's fought at 170. I think Tim Means is way too technical for this guy. He's going to pick him apart, and I think this one might actually go to decision, but this could be fight of the night. I think these guys will stand there and bang and punch each other in the face.
all right, I kind of see somewhat of the same thing happening. Possibly watching Tim Means just tee off on Hamasi. He's got a little bit of a wild style.
I think bang, boom.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I see, and probably maybe catching him with something good the second round and dropping him. But Hamasi looks very durable. I mean, 11-5, trains at ATT. Yeah. It's not like he's
not a pushover, but he's definitely not fought the competition Means has.
Levels.
Means has been in the UFC for a while. Like you said, there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
And he's just not on that level yet, and I think he gets picked apart.
All right, same here. I think Means drops him in the second. So let's move on to the second fight on the main card, which is Yeonju Lim versus the newcomer Mike Perry, making his UFC debut at 6-0.
Yeah, it looks like Perry. I don't know much about him. Couldn't find much about him other than he's 6-0 with 6 knockouts, nothing past the second round. And he's a finisher, and he's fighting a guy that fights out a Korean top team.
Yeah, I mean,
best team in Korea that I know of.
KTT has got some killers, and 13-5. Yeonju Lim is coming off a pretty devastating knockout by Magny, as well as getting KO'd by Tarek Seferdine.
And those are two killers. He finally, stepped up in competition and didn't look like he was able to
not quite ready
fight at that level.
Yeah. But I mean, the guy's coming off of almost a year layoff, over a year now. So maybe taking that time, getting some training in with the stun gun or something, the Korean zombie, maybe that'll change something.
Getting help. And again, I don't know who this Mike Perry guy is. I don't think he's on a Safardine or a Magny level just yet. So he might be able to get him early. It's 6 fights in his pro career. That's not a ton.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know which way to go with this one. They both got a high KO percentage, but this guy has never really been out of the second round. So what happens in the third round is Lim able to pull him in there into the deeper water? I don't see that happening. I don't know. I kind of have a feeling for some reason that this guy is going to be one of those breakout stars.
For them to put him on a main card, especially a McGregor main card, for his first UFC fight,
there has to be a reason why
he must be.
And that's why we were just saying, why is this fight here on the main card when Lorenz Larkin or the Garbrandt fight? Or they could have easily put the Courtney Casey fight.
They could have put any fight really. So this guy, I'm having a feeling this guy might be a killer.
The next,
so I'm going to say Mike Perry, second round KO.
All right, I'm just going to say I hope they bang each other's heads off.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens. And then third fight of the main card, something I'm kind of excited for. Got Cerrone that's just been getting his work on in the 170 division.
This guy, he's the most active fighter on the UFC roster.
Yeah.
That's why he's a fan favorite. He comes and fights. You're not going to see him laying and praying. He just destroyed Cote at 170. That's a huge win.
And dragging him to the floor and beating him down. That's what's crazy.
He took the Cowboy versus Cowboy fight was the one before that at 170. Oliveira, and he wrecked him too on the ground.
I did not. It's hard to tell which Cerrone is going to show up. Is it the Cerrone that Nate Diaz beat the brakes off of and sat there and taunted for 3 rounds? Or is it the guy that comes out and destroys Patrick Cote?
Exactly. And you can't sleep on Rick's story. The guy's got great wrestling.
Yeah.
And he hits hard. He hits real hard. And he's a big
Yeah, very big guy
welterweight.
for 170.
I don't know which way this can go. I can see Rick Story grinding out Cerrone, or I can see Cerrone. Honestly, I hate to pick against him. I'm picking Story. I think Story's too big, too much power for Cerrone.
I think the same thing. He's on a 3-win, knocked out Safardine, Gunnar Nelson, and what's his game? Mafra Teixeira.
Oh, yeah.
He's dropping people.
He was the first guy to beat Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah.
Dude's been around a long time, and he's been beating a lot of guys. And he's been beat, but every fight is a barn burner. I expect the same for this fight. Cowboy has a soft liver. We've seen it before. He gets touched to the body.
He doesn't like getting touched in the body at all.
They've talked about it. He's missing part of his intestines from a motorcycle or ATV accident. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but he gets touched like when RDA threw that knee kick to him. He drops. So.
Yeah, so I'm going with Story as well. I think Story just sits there and beats on him for 3 rounds.
I think he's too big. He's too big for him.
Yeah, it's the levels, man, at 170 for that.
Now,
I don't know, though. Cote is a huge man for 170 as well, and the size didn't matter. Is he sucking? That's what I want to know. I mean, Cerrone's 6'1". Is he sucking himself down too far to make 55? He would be a better 170-pounder with his skill set?
It might be. He can drink as much Budweiser as he wants. And,
right. Because he's not the fastest 155er.
No, and he never has been.
And he's got good power. So why not step up where the guys are a little slower?
And it looks like his power has followed with him.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, I mean, look, he destroyed Cote on the ground and standing.
Yeah.
He busted his chin up. That's the same Cote that was in there with Anderson Silva for a title fight.
Exactly. So, yeah. So, I mean, I think with the MMA math that I'm looking at, the Story should overpower him, but I don't know. Maybe Cerrone's been doing himself a disservice.
Safardine is
a scary
he's fun to watch, dude. And Story was he put a beating on him too.
All right. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. That one's up in the air. Next up, we have co-main event. This one, oh my God. These guys, somebody is going to go to sleep. I can't see this one going 3 rounds.
For all the people that were upset with UFC 200, a snooze fest, this is not a snooze fest.
No.
Almost everyone on this card are going to stand and they're going to punch each other in the face, and this one's going to be no different. I think Rumble knocks out Teixeira with a left head kick in the first round. He's going to hit him with that right hand. Feint the right hand or throw a head kick when he ducks right into it. That's my call.
If Teixeira is smart, he lays against Anthony Rumble Johnson on the fence for the entire first round and just holds on to him and drags on to him.
Yeah, but you better hope you don't get hit by one of those hammers. That guy hits harder, I think, than anyone in.
Everybody he touches first punch, look what he did to Cormier. They could send him flying across the ring. Or the cage.
Cormier's technically a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And so he did it to Gus, too.
Yeah.
Gustafson's a
it's
big
all
dude.
about that first round.
Look what he did against Arlovsky. He won a decision, but he broke Arlovsky's jaw in World Series of Fighting.
It's insane. And Arlovsky's a giant person.
And from all the training I've seen, the videos of Anthony training for this fight, it looks like he's really concentrating on his strength conditioning, especially his conditioning. I don't see him going 5 rounds being an issue, and I don't even think he gets close to that.
Yeah.
He knocks him out.
What is it? He's got a run of knockout Bader, Manoa, then he lost Cormier, but to get there, knocked out Gustafson, knocked out Nogueira, went to a decision with Phil Davis, who, in MMA math, beat Glover Teixeira in a decision.
You know how MMA math works.
So,
it's always right.
It's always perfect, and, Teixeira doesn't have quite the power that Johnson does, and he does have that.
He does have power, don't get me wrong. Don't sleep on Teixeira. This is a bad matchup. Bad matchup.
I think it's the other way, bad matchup for Rumble, because I think Teixeira's got the size that if he's able to get a hold of him, he will be able to grind on him enough to make him tired. And Rumble's got good wrestling, but he's not a submission defense artist.
No,
you know what I mean?
But I don't think Teixeira can take him down, and I don't see him getting his back. And I can see the same thing, Rumble getting on his back some way and knocking him out cold like he did Bader. Like
Well,
people don't get knocked out from that position.
No.
And that guy knocked him out from that position.
just sleeping. Just face first, taking
I was
a
like,
nap.
oh, well, he's not even fighting. Oh, that's why he's knocked
asleep.
out. He's
Yeah.
sleeping.
But, I mean, Oven St. Preux, probably the most athletic,
That dude's
the most athletic in the division, and Teixeira RNC'd him. So, I don't know. If Teixeira can make it through the
But
first
then we're
round.
doing MMA match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because OSP got dominated from Jones. Jones dominated Teixeira.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I think Teixeira tries to grind on him and looks for more of a submission win. I don't think that he stands there and tries to rock him, sock him with Rumble.
Every fight has to start standing, and that's the problem.
I'm so excited to see this one start. Holy shit.
Yep.
All right, and so with the main event, we got good old Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor.
Conor, if he wants to win this fight, in my opinion, he has to use his movement and he has to use leg kicks. We've seen Nate get destroyed by leg kicks. Get
RDA.
head kicked by Josh Thompson. They were set up by kicks to the legs.
True.
And then RDA chopped him down. Throw leg kicks. He's so heavy on that front leg.
I don't, you know what, I see the opposite with kicking. I don't see Conor McGregor's leg kicks just aren't the same. They're not powerful. They're setup style. I would more expect him to teep to the stomach like he did Mendez, try to sap strength out of him more than try to just chop him down like Aldo or RDA could do.
Yeah, and then the body shots did affect Nate in the first fight more than anything of what I saw. But again, he was taking those body shots and they were hurting him because he was taking body shots 10 days
in Mexico.
10 days ago in Mexico. That's what's happened with those. His body's going to be ready. He's going to be conditioned.
He's a bigger man. I mean,
Much
he's not,
bigger.
but he's not a 170 pounder.
No.
He is a large 155.
He's a large 55er. Connor's a medium to small 55er. But Connor should be fighting 55.
Yeah.
He barely
He goes
makes
way
45.
too far to 45.
And that's with IVs.
Yeah.
How's he going to make 45 now?
Yeah, the media has made this thing
Yes.
like David Goliath. No,
Yes.
it's just a
They are
normal
the same
155
weight
fight.
class, but it's a way for Connor to, if he loses again, he has another division he can go fight at.
Exactly.
55 and
Step
stay away
up.
from Nate.
But is him gaining all this weight? He doesn't look the same. He doesn't look as dynamic. Now I'm trying to kind of bulk up a little bit. Plus, he's not going to be able. It's not like this weight that you put on, this extra strength, immediately translates into your techniques.
No, I agree.
So I don't think it's even usable. What
From the
he's done.
sparring videos that he's been putting out, he's only been doing boxing. And even his boxing is right in front of the guy, walking him down.
Yeah.
No side-to-side movement like he's ever done. It's the same combo, that up jab to an overhand or to the body. It's the same combos he throws. You're not, even if you walk down to Diaz, brother, they're gonna
sit there and let you do it.
they're
Please.
gonna hit him like the first fight, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
It looks like he's training the exact same way as he did, or he's going to fight the same way like he did the first fight, and that's
I
going to
think
be a
that's a
huge
mistake.
issue.
Huge mistake.
Like Diaz,
And
the
then
Diaz
they hit
brothers
the
fight
ground.
the same way no matter what.
Boom.
Yeah.
They hit the ground, and there's never. He could train for 5 more years while Nate stays stagnant, and he still won't.
That's
catch
why
up.
they give belts in jiu-jitsu, even though Connor has his fake brown belt. It's not
a
real.
brown belt. Yeah,
Like, come on,
exactly.
get real, dude. He's not a brown belt. He's a
Low level,
high
purple
level,
belt.
high level blue belt, low level purple belt.
Exactly.
Nate is a legit black belt.
Legit. And if he attacks off his
Submissive
back,
artist, yes.
if he attacks, that's something that bothers me about jiu-jitsu and MMA. People don't really attack off their back like they do or they could from
This
what
guy
they
attacks.
understand. If Nate Diaz starts throwing his legs up, arm bars, triangles, go-go, omoplatas, puts his feet in his face.
Yeah, he's going to hurt him.
But-
Connor is broke mentally. That's another
Yes.
thing. I think he's broke mentally. After that press conference, they're throwing bottles. Connor immediately went to his Sports Center, and he had a meltdown on Sports Center.
He doesn't know what the fuck to say to a guy that doesn't give a shit.
Nate gives no shits about
None,
what he's saying,
zero.
and it's great.
I
And
love it.
I think he's in his head, and
Yeah.
he knows he's in his head. Connor shows up late to the presser like, oh, I'm going to mess with him. Oh, Nate goes, I'm leaving early in the middle of you talking.
Bye, bitch.
And Connor doesn't know how to handle it.
No.
The agitator has become the guy
agitated.
getting
He's
picked on.
pissed.
And Nate is barely trying, and that's what's so funny
Yeah.
about it. Connor puts all this thought pattern and stuff into this, and he's still
Yeah.
just...
So, all right, so
Yeah, Nate by 4th round submission, guillotine this time. I think he puts it on him.
All right, you know what? I see the same thing. He catches him with a couple hot ones second, early in the third, drops him, submits him in the third. So I don't know. We'll see.